before I say that, I haven't fucking played this game in ages. Actually, now that it's come down to it, like I was working on 100% playthrough on the Switch version, but oh, should I do?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever 100%ed that.
Maybe that...
I definitely did not do it for Eternal.
Yeah, maybe that's... Let me I actually think I know how to get everything in the first stage, so that's easy. I could just go hunt down a guide between stages. Do I really hate myself?
No, dude.
No.
I was always
lower the
pretty
score.
convinced UV was,
Oh.
yeah.
Never mind.
Oh.
I was gonna. I could always lower the difficulty later. If you start on Nightmare, you can't lower the difficulty. Oh.
No, you can't.
Okay, then. We'll just do Ultraviolence.
I was always pretty convinced that Ultraviolence was just... It's the default Doom difficulty.
It really is. Like,
Doesn't matter which one you're playing.
I'd say Eternal changes it to hurt me plenty for sure, but definitely
Having played
until-
95% of that game on Ultraviolence, yeah.
definitely feels like... I mean, I'm still going to play it on Ultraviolence again, now that I've kind of gotten a feel for it. Also, I just love how they took that stupid-ass corny line from the comic book and made it kind of legitimately unsettling.
Now the real question is, are the comics canon now?
I would assume yes now, if Rip and Tear has been officiated.
There's a lot. I mean, they've made Doom more like a comic book ever since they started working on this one. There's like all this back lore and all this crazy shit that they're starting to put together for it. Like, they know what it is.
I wonder if the books will ever get canonized. That gets a little, I think it becomes very Mormon-y. The books are weird.
Was it written by Sandy Peterson?
Maybe? I didn't know that about Sandy Peterson.
Yeah, he's a Mormon.
Oh my god, maybe that he was inspired it.
It could be.
Shit. I might actually have to dig into... The books are fucking crazy. Like... I mean, first of all, the original Doom, it's not just the Slayer, it's like a squad. Even though, like, you're following the guy's name's Flynn McTaggart. And...
Flynn Taggart.
Flynn McTaggart. The Mick is important. Not really.
Apparently.
But...
The Mick is important for the soundtrack. I learned that one.
Oh. Yeah, I've heard, like... I heard Andrew Hulshult?
Hulshult does a decent job, but he's no Mick.
It's big shoes to fill, and I totally can understand him not being able to fill them 100%, because, like, whew, how do you?
Yeah, the shoes are house-sized, and he maybe feels like the basement in the first floor. You know, like he's missing the second story, but, you know, it's an effort.
It's totally respectable. It's just not, you know, it's how do you compete with the industrial... droning? I don't even know what to call half this game's soundtrack. It's just perfect for Doom.
It's like there's a big thing about it where like Mick wanted to do this thing with like where the demons, like their music is more like pulses and sine waves and like digital sounding, and like the Slayer stuff is more the heavy guitars and things like that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's why there's that dynamic with all the soundtrack. That's why when you go to Hell, there's like no chug-a-lug for the most part.
Shit. That's
and
really
all
cool.
Really creepy choirs and digital pulses and like...
Holy shit. Yeah, you really can't replace that. Like...
No, like there was a theming that really went with this game. And like, the DLCs... I don't say they lose it. Like, they're still good, but like they definitely, like, they just ignored that aspect.
That was just such a great start. The first imp I see and it hits me immediately.
Well, of course,
I have such a good feeling about this now. Oh, fucker. It's nice to punch things and it hurt them again, though.
Yeah, I see why they did away with that from a gameplay standpoint, because it's, like, supremely easy to keep your health up.
Yeah. And making the chainsaw rechargeable in Eternal, like, it just changes the combat beats a lot.
And it changes the combat beats a lot, and also Eternal ups the ante from about, like, 4 to 5 enemies at a time to, like, 6 to 8.
So how many times do you think you're going to see me just pulse it and walk for a second, me wanting to hit dash?
Enough. God, it's like it's weird. Like I'm expecting you to dash around.
Yeah, I've tried a couple times. Oh. I just love how many glory kills there are for every single enemy.
There's ones from above, from behind, like from the side, from the front. There's like at least 3 to 4 for each.
Hey, buddy.
I'd say Eternal has less of them, and it kind of does, but it has more enemies, so I kind of like... I see where the counterbalance is there.
And also the ones are a lot more visceral.
Yeah.
I'm specifically thinking the one with the, I don't even know what to call them, but the generic, like, health mooks that you shoot, like, once and you get health. The one where you just bop them on the head and crush their head into their chest cavity. It's just the best, most cartoonish fucking thing in existence.
They've definitely embraced that Doom is more like a comic book now.
It works. It works really well. I mean, 2016 even had that, but it was just like, it towed this weird line. Oh, I'm going backwards.
Yeah, it did. Like, it couldn't decide if it was like full classic Doom or if it wanted to go a little bit crazier, and then they decided after this one what people liked most and just amplified.
They were definitely not wrong. Like, I had some pretty spicy opinions on Eternal for a while, but like, it's definitely finally clicked, which I'm super happy about.
It took like 15 hours for it to make sense for me.
It's fucking crazy how intricate that game is.
There's a lot of buttons. I've actually heard it's one of the few FPS games that's a little easier on the controller just because the buttons are so much more readily accessible.
Interesting. Oh fuck, that makes me also want to try it on a controller sometime, but also, yikes. I love how Mick reused the original Doom theme just slightly there, just kind of the little guitars.
Yeah, I think it's down like 2 octaves from the original, maybe even 3. Like,
fucking perfect.
He used a 9-string for it, and then went on record as saying, like, after he finished the 2016 soundtrack, he sold the 9-string because it's just so ridiculous and unnecessary.
Oh. That's fair.
Like, he said it's just completely unnecessary. Like, at that point, you're basically playing mud. Like, a 9-string is so goddamn low. The only reason I would want to play one is, like, giant hands. Like, they feel good in giant hands.
Oh, I can imagine. And I imagine there's a lot of ridiculous fucking options. Okay, come on, Imp. Jesus. Yo, I put someone in the distance and...
That's what you do.
How did I put you in the glory kill from all the way back there while I was shooting an Imp at a lot closer range?
Dude, the glory kill range is ridiculous in 2016. Like, you'll just zoom across from like 6 feet away to do them.
They just did such a great job with all the character designs, and I am glad they had the kind of more generic zombies, like, that are more humanoid in Eternal. Like, these are the... Yeah. What are they? Not infected.
They're more like Marines. Like, they got armor of some kind. I don't know. I don't know if they're UAC or not, truth be told. Like, I never really... read the lore. I tried reading the lore.
Yeah, it looks UHC. Or UAC, rather.
I tried reading the lore in Eternal, but there's just, like, so many proper nouns that they've, like... They basically turned Doom into Chakan the Forever Man, as far as I can tell. Like...
Oh... See, I always just skipped them. It's like interesting. Well, I guess it's kind of like I've heard it.
Well, think about how long this dude's been alive. I mean, if we're discussing spoilers, which I mean, you know,
it's been a minute. He's been alive for a minute. I mean, even in Doom in 2016,
he's been around.
We know he's been around for a minute. We just didn't know the exact extent, and also confirmed that he is really the Doom Marine.
He's basically Chakan with guns at this point. Like, just destroy evil when it appears. That's his job.
Just slaughters them all, and
yeah.
I don't, because now I feel obligated to beat the DLCs, which I haven't even touched, so that'll be fully blind.
They're fun. Just expect Tag 1 to be a little bit ruthless. Like they definitely did some things. Did they nerf it?
Yeah,
I played it like when it was brand new,
because it was like, I can't believe you made this so much easier. You're working for the casuals, and I'm like, everyone I've spoken to has said that needs some work.
Tag 2 definitely feels more balanced than Tag 1 did when I played it when it was new, so I could see them rebalancing.
I hope those things right behind me aren't about to kill me. Okay, I got
everything's
out in
about
time.
to kill you.
I like that just got put me
Doesn't
in.
matter.
Just put me in a screen for. Hold on, I'm changing a control because if I recall, an Eternal grenade is G, and middle mouse button does not feel good for grenade. But
If you
chainsaws.
recall in the Eternal,
oh,
you have to
fuck.
dance around the entire keyboard.
Yeah, now that I've chainsaw was V if I recall, so that'll work better there. And where is?
That does make sense.
Where's grenade?
V key's even
Oh, use
shaped like a cutting
equipment.
downwards arrow.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that should feel a lot more natural.
That's the way I like when I look at how people assign keys for games. I always assume that generally they've assigned them because they look like something at some point, and they're close to WAS.
You know, I never thought about G for grenade, V
Yeah,
because it's cutting
either
something.
by letter.
Do I want to just sit on this for a minute?
It's that idea of
Yeah, I'll
like
just
C
sit
is
on this.
crouch.
Or
The
control.
weird ones
I
are
think
like
I'm a
old.
big control being crouch guy. I don't
Yeah,
know what
control
happened.
crouch is fine too. He used to not like it because it hurts my pinky because my hands are just a terrible, ruinous mess. But Ultra Kill sort of sold me on it.
That's another game I really need
I
to
mean,
sit down and get better at because
This game walked so that game could fly.
yeah,
Like, this game walked so FPS could fly again. Like, it
like everybody.
single-handedly... Actually, no, not single-handedly. There's two games that I would argue revived the genre.
This and Wolfenstein.
And the other one, I feel like... Okay, three games that revived the genre. There's this, there's Wolfenstein, and then there's the lesser-known... Well, not lesser-known, but lesser popular, which was Shadow Warrior.
Shadow
it
Warrior
brought-
was fucking good.
It brought all these ideas of these different tools. It basically took what something like Mach and X was years ago, took out all the jank, added in a bunch of different systems and elements to like make it more interesting, and just ran with it.
That's a fucking deep cut thinking about Mach and X. That's a cool game too, and I think I have a ROM of it. And I know I have a Dreamcast emulator. That's something I want to fuck around with again, because it's just... What a weird-ass game.
It's part of the SMT universe, if you can
It
believe it.
sure fucking is. God. Is that the right one? I always mix up which one to hit first. Yeah, that was the right one.
You know, looking at these special hidden rooms with all these like flat pixely textures and stuff, I'm surprised nobody's made like a Doom escape room with wallpaper like that.
Oh my god,
That'd
that
be
would be
badass.
sick. Oh, get it on the horn. We got an idea for when COVID's over.
Yeah, I gotta make a Doom escape room now.
Oh my god. It would sell out.
No. Here's what you gotta do: is you gotta break into the escape room. You don't break out of it. You gotta break into it.
Oh god.
That's how you feel like the
I
Doomslayer.
think the explosive shot's the better of the two. I've always assumed it was, because explosions. But
I mean, yeah, it's. You could argue back and forth all day about which mods are more useful or less useful in this. About the only thing that anyone can agree on is the Gauss cannon is completely fucking overpowered.
yeah. Yeah.
I see why they replaced that with Ballista.
Hey, buddy. Come on. There you go.
I was gonna say that dude was tanky.
Hey. Like, sometimes it's just like, come on, go down. Now they're going down. Now everything's coming up Millhouse. I mean, I still don't feel too slow, but I definitely feel the difference between the two.
It's a little more measured. Like it's funny because this felt fast when it came out, and in the 5 years since it released, we have games that are like double this speed now that are the new norm.
Like it really all changed when this and like Shadow Warrior and Wolfenstein came out. Like people suddenly were just like, oh yeah, single player FPS kind of rule.
It recontextualized that FPS could be done without much cover and just an increase in speed.
You just have to
And
give
aggression.
a way to heal that is totally
Yeah.
manageable. And for, I mean, we've all been around for the
If
cover
you-
shooter era where you hide behind cover and let your health regenerate, which was an interesting solution for
I mean-
a specific subgenre of shooter, and not every genre and not every shooter that existed. And God, it sucked.
Yeah. You know what's funny is I feel like the two pieces of the puzzle were separated for quite some time, but Vanquish was the first piece of combining the cover fire shooter with a pure action game.
Yeah.
The second piece of the puzzle was Bloodborne.
Yeah.
The whole recovering through aggression thing and applying it to an FPS.
Brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Like 1,000 out of 10. Whoever did that better get a raise. Oh god, I almost ran off the cliff.
Like, it's cool to see games start to pull from other games innovation-wise. Like, it's that idea that's starting to, like, refresh the scene again. Because for the longest time there, like, FPS, AAA, it didn't really matter what it was. If it was a genre and it was AAA, it was homogenized to shit. And that's not happening lately.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you still have the companies that do that, but they're kind of starting to fail. Like...
Yeah.
I don't think
We're
Ubisoft...
getting back to return to form, you know? Because people got tired of playing the same thing over and over and over.
And it's not even like going just back and everything being cyclical. Like, this found a radically different interpretation of, like, okay, what's an arcade FPS?
Yeah, you could easily see somebody sitting down in a cabinet and playing this. That's the weirdest part of it.
Yeah. Like, this is the most, like, real-ass, like, arcade FPS I think we had until now. I mean, now we have mountains of them.
Yeah.
And not, like, in a bad way, either.
Well,
I say mountains, we
like,
have, like,
just...
6 of them. But that's perfect.
If arcades were still a thing, I guarantee you there would be a light gun shooter Doom.
I mean,
it would just exist.
The VR game already pretty much is.
VR is sort of the space for that now, but I'm glad they're starting to step away from that a little bit. Seeing House of the Dead come back with a remake coming up soon. That's
totally
cool.
fucking forgot about that.
I mean, it's so underground. Like, who knows what House of the Dead is these days, unless you're like one of the 5 people on the planet that got to play Scarlet Dawn.
I missed Scarlet Dawn, but I did get 4. No, wait, no, I didn't miss Scarlet Dawn. I actually got to play Scarlet Dawn once.
Jesus, where'd you find that arcade?
Dave and Buster's in Ohio. They had a couple of weird-ass games there.
I mean, right on.
It was like, I got to play Scarlet Dawn, I got to play Time Crisis, I think it was 5? I think it's up to 5. There was a bunch of games I'm like, whoa, oh hey, another one of these! I thought this was gone! So, no, they still fucking make them. I mean, mind you, this was years ago
they are
now,
super gone now.
Yeah. They couldn't be much more gone if they tried.
I mean, getting into the super deep cut, there was the... Oh, man. What was it? It's basically like an arcade enthusiast board they were making to where, like, it's specifically arcade games, and there's, like, special versions of Maldita... Or not Maldita Castilla. Battle Princess Madeline.
Oh!
They remade Gimmick with a Manabu Maniki OST.
Those guys!
Yeah! That was supposed to revive arcades, and then it happened to release at the end of 2019. So that went about as well as you could imagine.
It's a pretty big bummer that that happened, because now hopefully those games aren't stuck on that, because, I mean, first of all, who doesn't want a fucking remake of Gimmick? Oh, I should probably get rid of that, I'll beat the entire stage!
FPS? What about an FPS with Gimmick mechanics? Like, pick up and toss things and jump on them?
Isn't that just Half-Life 2?
Kinda, I guess.
No, not in reality, not at all, except for maybe Ravenholm? Maybe?
Half-Life 1 is probably closer to that. There's so many put thing here, jump across thing there in that game.
Yeah. Like, I'm actually, you mentioned it, it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if doing a little digging, if not a complete game, there's been a proof of concept similar. Just because, like...
There's so many...
With fucking, Source Engine, just everybody went nuts over the possibilities of the movement you could do with that and, like, moving stuff around.
Well, look at all the first-person parkour games now. Like, people used to hate jumping in FPS games until, naturally, the one that got it right for the first time was Nintendo with Metroid Prime.
Yeah.
The first time jumping in an FPS did not feel like butts.
Yeah. And, sure shit, it's a game that, in that case, it's a little bit slower, but you have a double jump and you have kits. Olivia, go fuck yourself. She doesn't matter. It's running away from the bad guy. That's what the Doomslayer would totally do.
Don't care if you're talking to me through screen. Want to talk to you in person with my gun and fist.
I have things. I have better communication tools. Please. But...
These poor UAC guys.
Right, I forgot about the challenges.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this.
From behind? I think there's one I'm missing. Maybe against a wall? Come on, come back here. Come back, little friend.
Challenges too. That's another really like weird gamey thing that's kind of like started to come back. Is challenges and score. Like, score is starting to somewhat matter again in games, and people are starting to realize you can actually, like, sort of not gate things, but you can gate things behind it and have people get good at your game if they're interested enough.
Yeah, like, I don't know what's behind the P-Door and Ultra Kill, but it sounds completely auxiliary, and it sounds like hell.
Well, fortunately... I think I linked to you that they're doing this thing with the difficulties where you could play on, say, like violent difficulty, but you can change the bosses so they work on like easy difficulty, or you can play on like medium difficulty and change the bosses so they work on violent difficulty. Like, that's an upcoming feature to the game.
That I'm
so you
all
could,
about.
Yeah, so you could technically get into that door on a lower difficulty now. And not destroy your hands and be very sad.
Like, I'm all about, like, the bosses being roadblocks that I have to struggle to overcome. But make the level something I can reasonably fucking do.
You'll have fun behind the P-Door then. It took me 3 hours.
Oh, shit. I mean, it took me, like, 2 hours to beat, not Virgil.
Yeah, now I bully him.
Of course. I feel like to unlock the P-Door, that's kind of the requirement, is you probably need to bully.
Oh, yeah, no, like, he's very, very sad now.
Oh. Yeah, I think Ultra Kill's a game I need to sit down. Like, after DMC5 hitting a real stride and getting good at that, I'm kind of all been about the character action game getting good.
Well, that's, yeah, like, I mean, and, like,
Ultra Kill,
I guess going back into the whole...
a character action. Actually, honestly, fucking Doom Eternal's a character, and Doom 2016 are character action games, I'd argue. There's a lot
Close enough, yeah.
There's a lot of fucking nuance to its combat.
Eternal, I'd say more so, because you really mix and match your shit together in that one. 2016 is definitely like an FPS with the makings of being a character action game.
I would purely give it on it because of it being iterated on. If Eternal didn't iterate it into it so hard, and it's obvious, like, okay, yeah, that came from 2016,
yeah,
it would be a lot more of an argument, but... Come on.
But that's what I like, is like games are starting to pull from other genres to revitalize fading ones. Like, you got this as the character action game. Like, could you imagine an FPS where you had to like perform, like, I don't know, just as an example, Tetris on the bottom screen. Every time you get a Tetris, you get some ammo back, and it's like you're just trying to work a puzzle game while doing very light combat. Like, there's so much you can do.
You know... Oh, what the fuck is that RPG called? Other, I think? Where it's like, you kind of got like this beat-em-up brawler combo system when you do your attacks, and then you have to run away and dodge the enemy when they're doing their attacks in like a platformer.
Yeah, it's essentially, it's like, well, I mean, look at where that spawned from. You can trace the line back to Undertale going, what if, you know, RPG, but kind of shmup avoidance, you know? And like...
I just realized there's probably a guide on Steam that's like, hey, here's where all the secrets are.
Secrets are.
Sheets. Written guide. Yeah, like, that's like Undertale 100% walked, so I mean Deltarune's gonna run with it as well, but
Undertale kind of like, yeah. There's another one coming out called Knuckle Sandwich that basically looks like what if all the battles were WarioWare minigames?
Oh,
which was
that
was an idea that I had like a few years. Yeah, I had that idea a few years back, and I really wanted to do it, but I just didn't have the time at the time. And then I saw Knuckle Sandwich. I'm like, this is exactly what I was thinking. Like, this is the exact game going through my mind when I think like cool, short, dumb mini games for the attacks and avoiding, and like that's a great idea.
That's such a good fucking call. Oop. Okay, that wasn't what I was hoping it would be. That's just a different entrance in here. Oh my god, I forgot this had Half-Life like healing tubes.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
That's right. Eternal does not have that. I forgot all about those things.
That's fucking weird. Okay, so I got the secret room already.
Don't those come from Doom 3?
I think they do.
I kind of remember doing this in Doom 3 now that I think about it.
Okay, I got
they had to remove him from Eternal to be like, we have to get further from Doom 3. Further!
Just get away from it! Even though I've always stood by, Doom 3 is a pretty fun game. I think it always got a really worse rap than it deserved. But it's not a Doom
fun,
game.
But it's not... Yeah, it's fun, but not in the way that I like Doom to be fun.
It's a pretty cool atmosphere horror game. That's a weird flex from Doom.
It's a weird flex. You can, I mean, there's also you can't play them anymore, as far as I know, unless there's a way to like emulate them. But the Doom RPG phone games.
Oh,
from,
I'm
like,
sure somebody's
mid 2000s
absolutely already gotten that emulated. There's no way. People are crazy. And those were actually shockingly good.
Yeah. I feel like you could just take the formula from Doom and apply it to a lot. I mean, look at Doom RL, which was like the Doom roguelike, and people were really, really into that. To the point where that team eventually went on to make Jupiter Hell, which is like basically Doom RL, but with graphics and, you know, their own thing.
Wait,
they can sell and market.
I didn't know they made their own game.
Yeah, it's called Jupiter Hell, and I think it's still early access. It's probably going to be early access for a while.
Oh, shit.
I just assume roguelikes are going to be early access for like 4 years until they're done.
Just
look at you, Caves of Cood.
If there's ever a genre that can be like, take your time and release content for over time to make people excited, it's the roguelike genre.
Yeah.
So you can just drop some
that working on my own
crazy ass shit and just be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, I keep getting, like, the worst part about making a roguelike is it's you can keep having ideas. You just keep having ideas, and it's like, yeah, exactly. It's
you have to forcibly be like, no, I'm done. I have to stop. I feel like
even working a little bit on mine today. I had another idea that I'm like, oh, do I want to? I think I might do it just to give it a little bit of extra life. But
is this the second Game Jam game that was like, oh fuck, we have good ideas. Let's just keep going.
I am treating this one more like a proof of oh yeah, Midnight Station was a jam, but it was a jam that was supposed to last for a week, and then it lasted 2 months before we finished it.
Boop. Just feature creep in a good way.
A bit, yeah. Well, this one, it's less. It's not like we're working on it every single day, like on till dusk, like the Midnight Station. This is just now and then I have like a little idea and I implement it. And I want to get it to just this perfect, not a perfect balance. There's no such thing as a perfect balance, but I want to get it to feeling where I kind of imagined it being at before the jam, or as the jam was going on.
Okay. Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, like enough to polish to where it's like it's still like a really cool, free little game, but not so much to where it's like keep working on it, and go like, well, now we got to probably sell this thing.
Yeah. God, I always forgot how good this fucking game feels. Come on. Oh.
It's crazy how good it came out, considering how pessimistic everyone was from the trailers.
Why the fuck the trailers, and why the fuck was your demo the multiplayer? Like, hello?
Yeah, that was a really Not to mention the embargo.
Suck.
Yeah, the embargo definitely did not help.
It's like, oh, wait. Why did you? It's like, why did you put an embargo on this? This game rules. I'm sure all the reviewers were asking the same thing. Yeah. Pour one out.
Crisp.
Toasty.
Crisp gameplay.
Crispiest. I like my Doomslayer. Well done.
Who doesn't?
Oh yeah, I have a Praetor Suit token too. I'm just bad at using upgrades in this game, apparently. Well, the Praetor Suit token, I feel like there's better uses of it than just whatever you can get with 1 point.
Typically, yeah, it's good to save like a couple and get some of the good stuff early and then just work your way down the chain rather than up.
Yeah.
Demonic presence.
Those damn demonic presences.
I like my demonic presences to come from Santa Claus.
I really love how Eternal cut all of the gore nests except for one. And holy shit, it's big.
It's the super gore nest.
It's all the gore nests you needed.
Well, if they make a third one, I can't wait for Ultimate Gore Nest.
I don't know, people seem to really hate this mechanic, and I always thought it was fun. I liked the arena fights in this game, like, a lot.
Honestly, that's what it works with, and that's why Eternal works so well, is it's just way more of that.
Yeah.
It's just without the gore nest part, you know?
Yeah, we didn't really need an excuse for, like, oh, hey, you're in an arena to throw things down. The Slayer will do his job and slay. Like, he doesn't need excuses.
Boot up.
Okay. I haven't cut anything. Oh, fuck! Right. You pull out the chainsaw and use it. It's not a button. It's not a hotkey in this one.
That's right.
Fuck.
Damn.
That's the only, like, that is definitely what killed me right there. Just pull out chainsaw. It's like, hey, look at my chainsaw, little imp. That's cool. I got fire. That's super in. What are you doing there?
Right.
At least I have nice health
Getting
now.
stuck in the door.
All right, I can't take damage and I can't get any more health. Let's go.
Then become a strafe master.
Oh, I
There's
took
just
a
like
hit.
such a good flow in this one too.
Like, they definitely knew how to use every tool the player had and make it feel good.
There's something fun about watching this one because like the shots that you do are so much more like measured and aimed. Everyone I see play Eternal, the mouse is just like whipping around at 90 miles per hour. Like, where the hell is it?
Just spraying
what am I
bullets.
shooting?
Ow. Oh.
Aw.
Good shot, imp.
Dude, those imps are on point.
They're hitting all the right shots off. God, no wonder I never got anywhere in Ultra Nightmare. I tried a couple times and I could never get out of this stage, but I could get like a good 3/4 of the way in. All right.
Yeah, Ultra Nightmare it's for a very special kind of interesting player.
I imagine if you're speedrunning
I equate it to
Nightmare,
playing the what was it? Gears 5 added a difficulty
What?
like that, like an Iron Man. Holy crap!
I had definitely a good chunk of health going right there. Like, I wasn't like one fireball away from death.
Ultra violence damage.
Holy shit. All right. This guy's going to try and go for me. I'm just going to mash F, so I just pop him in the face first. No, we're done. I'm sick of you just getting the first hit. It's unfair. It's unfair! Oh, come on. I keep hitting F to use, and I don't know why. Well, it's the glory kill button. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's just FTU's glory kill.
Should have played it G. It would have been G for glory.
Yeah, but grenades.
Yeah, it makes more sense.
Years upon years of contextualization.
Hello? Just sometimes it's just like, oh, the enemy's where oh, that's not the imp I was aiming at, but you know it works. That's not even an imp.
Nope. That is. No, that's not.
Oh! Oh, the bomb!
What?
You know, I saw that barrel and was like, yeah, that's not a problem. And then chose to ignore it, and sure as shit.
You saw the barrel and you wanted to get ahead in life.
It was... Oh, God. This is, This is just, like, kicking
This
my
room
teeth
is...
in.
I was gonna say, this room is gonna be its own supercut.
Really, it really might be.
To be fair, the early Gore Nests are so much harder than the later ones, just because you do not have that many tools early on.
Like, my kingdom for a heavy assault rifle.
Yeah,
I think that's what it's called.
Much nicer. It's something.
Lord kill you. Lord kill you. Grenade you. Miss. You know, that's part of the plan.
All according to Keikaku.
Oh, God.
Nailed
Well
it.
done.